I've got something really exciting to share with you. This is a beautiful dessert that I know most of you are going to go crazy for. We're going to make the most delicious chocolate mousse. A chocolate mousse normally needs butter, right? We're not going to do that. We're going to use avocado. Then we're going to make proper homemade Easter eggs. And you just need two primary things, right? Some chocolate, which I know you love, and some avocado. And this avocado is going to make the most amazing chocolate mousse. But the shell is going to allow you to make your very own chocolate egg. This is something you can do this Easter that I know you're going to love. Now, what's happening right here is a little pan of simmering water, and I've got a bowl on top, and in here I've got 300 grams of nice chocolate, 70% cocoa solids. Just break it up and just slowly melt this and stir it. And then in a liquidizer here, I'm going to add the flesh of 2 avocados, okay? We're going to put the flesh in here. The avocado is also going to give you the lightness and the elegance that egg whites would give you. So into this liquidizer, we're going to go in with 160 mils, or a little tin, of coconut cream. Then we're going to go in with 2 heaped teaspoons of cocoa powder, right? Not hot chocolate, cocoa powder. Then we're going to use 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. That will sweeten it. Then we're left with these, right? The empty avocado shells. So you get yourself a little brush, take half an avocado, and I want you to generously paint the inside of the avocado. And what we're going to do is put these 4 halves in the fridge for 10 minutes. The chocolate will firm up, then we'll brush it again. Back in the fridge for 10 minutes, it will firm up and we'll brush it again. We'll do it 3 times. It's a faff, but it's easy. So in the fridge we go. So these have had 10 minutes now, and you can see the chocolate has firmed up. And then we're just going to repeat the process again. And now, time for the 3rd layer. But to help me, I've got a little guest. Come on, Buds.
Hi.
My best mate. Okay, so if you can have a go. Now, Buddy loves avocado. It's something that he's loved since he was a kid.
Yeah.
Tell him the truth.
I hate it.
So this will be a test. Can chocolate be the mediator of one of the country's biggest avocado haters? And Buds, if you can pop that on the plate and whack it in the fridge, another 10, 20 minutes, that'll go nice and hard. So we've put roughly about half this chocolate onto the avocado halves. Now this other half, we're now gonna put in the liquidizer. So Buddy, if you can take the lid off, my darling, and we're gonna pour the rest of this gorgeous chocolate. Look at that.
Yeah.
A tiny pinch of salt goes in. So Buds, let's get it going. Go on, son. Okay, so in a matter of a minute, look what we've got. Silky, gorgeous, chocolatey heaven. Look at that. Buds, come on.
It looks so nice.
So just pat that down. Why don't you just grab that spoon and have a little try and tell me what you think. It should be utterly delicious.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah? Go and grab Mum, whatever she's doing, just say, come and see Dad, he's got something for you, yeah? Bless you.
Okay.
So, this goes in the fridge. I'm gonna gather together some fruit and I'll show you how you can plate this beautiful egg and mousse together. Okay, so it's time to plate up, but look who I've got with me. My lovely wife, Jules. I wanna show you this. So in here, right, we've got the lovely chocolate mousse. So just, oh, look at that, come on.
Wow, that's so sumptuously silky. So what's actually in it? Just chocolate and avocado?
Avocado, chocolate, maple syrup, coconut cream. Then, check this out. So with the chocolate here, literally just go to the edge where the skin is and you can just pop the whole thing out.
You know what you could do?
What?
You could just fill those with little mini chocolate eggs for the kids on. That's quite a nice way.
Yeah.
Just like for the Easter egg hunt or something.
That's a really nice idea. So I'm gonna take this half and I'm just gonna press that into our lovely chocolate mousse. So you can have some little fruit in there, some blackberries, some blueberries, so a little bit of blood orange there. I'm gonna take some of this white chocolate, melt it, and then we can kind of go a little bit Jackson Pollock, just get it everywhere. We'll take some of that lovely sour cherry and like just put some of that syrup in there. Get some white chocolate, just put it on a board and then gently, without pushing down too much, just drag it towards you so you can just kind of tap that over the top. And there you go. So what do you reckon, Jay?
Amazing. Yeah, so sweet.
Would you like to have a little try?
Yeah.
There you go, my darling. Yeah, it's quite nice because you can pick up the bits of shell and sort of scoop up some of that fruit and juice. Try the mousse, what do you think? Chocolate indulgence? You are a chocolate freak.
You'd never know that was avocado.
So there you go, guys. That is a really fun, delicious expression of chocolate. Have a go this Easter. And from me and Jules, take care. Lots of love. Happy cooking. So I'm going to show you how to make hot cross buns. Come on! What is better than hot cross buns with some butter, a cup of tea? It's such a beautiful thing. Well, I'll tell you what's better. Chocolate hot cross buns. Yes, this is an upgrade of all upgrades. It's got chocolate in, do you know what I mean? With the little cross on, all glazed up, it's gonna be lovely. And it's so nice to do at home. The whole house smells gorgeous. So we're taking that traditional, delicious recipe and we are pimping it with chocolato. Oh yes. First up, 50 grams of butter. Get it in a small pan and we wanna melt that nice and slowly. 1 heaped teaspoon of mixed spice, so loads of flavour right there. 50 grams of golden caster sugar, which is just over 1 tablespoon. Half a nutmeg, just give it a nice grating, smells amazing. Let that come together, and while it's doing its magic, let's get on with the cooking. Get yourself a large bowl, 400 grams of strong flour. Make a little well in the middle. Add 1 of these sachets of yeast. They always come in 7-gram sachets. After just 1 minute, we've got a little fry on, right? It looks fantastic. I'm gonna turn the heat off, right? I want this to cool down. So what I'm gonna do now is add 200 millilitres of whole milk. So that's gonna cool the pan down, give it a nice little mix up. Put your finger in it, and if it's kind of like tepid, you know, not too hot, then we can add our nice large organic egg. So in we go, and we'll give it a little whisk up. And this is just tepid now, it's not hot. It's gonna bring that yeast back to life. Just mix that up and then add in 50 grams of cocoa powder with a good pinch of salt. As it becomes too hard to use the fork, your hands can get involved. Give it a really good knead. Kind of push the dough away from you and bring it back. And then once you kind of knead it and you can see it kind of spring back, that's when you know you've done a nice job. 100 grams of good raisins. You want 150 grams of chocolate. So I'm gonna break this into 12 little chunks, right? That's gonna be a little sea of chocolate in the middle of each one. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be naughty. It's gonna be delicious. With the other half of the chocolate, just break it up into the dough. Guys, if you want the recipe for this, then just head over to jamieoliver.com and there's thousands more recipes as well. Fill your boots, enjoy. There's something for everyone. Now I want you to just knead that chocolate and those raisins into the dough. Look at that. When the yeast starts to activate, it makes heat and that will start to melt those little chunks of chocolate in the most beautiful way. So pop this in the bowl, then get yourself a damp, warm cloth over the bowl and let that prove for 1 hour until it's doubled in size. The dough has had an hour, it's poofed up, roll it out. It smells absolutely scrumptious. Cut it in half and then cut it in half again. And then each of those little quarters into 3 equal balls. Flatten out that dough like that. Get your chocolate, place it in the middle, pull in the sides. You get a nice little ball shape like that. There'll be a little pond of beautiful chocolate right in the middle and that's gonna be gorgeous. We're gonna let that prove about 45 minutes. So look at these little beauties. They're gonna be lovely and spongy. Now I've made a little paste here. It's simply 2 tablespoons of flour and 2 tablespoons of water until it's sort of like a thick kind of pancake batter paste. And if you squeeze it to the corner, that can be a little piping bag for our crosses. And this is the cross in hot cross buns. Lovely. Look at those little beauties. In the oven they go for about 25 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit, and they're gonna be gorgeous. They smell amazing. I've just heated through some honey. Use some rosemary as a brush, and then we can just rub it all over the buns. By using the rosemary or thyme, you're gonna get a tiny scent of flavor. The smell of the spices in this is amazing. Oh yes. Let that cool down for 5 minutes, and they're gonna be amazing. But I can't wait 5 minutes. Oh, if we cut inside this little bad boy, there's the chocolate. Oh, look. Oh, that is really good. Crispy on the top, spongy in the middle, naughty and delicious, and a brilliant evolution of the classic hot cross bun. What up, food tubers? We're gonna make the most incredible, beautiful chocolate pots. This would be brilliant for a romantic interlude, yes, or frankly, anyone with loads of friends or kids, but they're also vegan friendly. The mystery ingredient, tofu. Yes, 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 I know, shh, 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 shh. Tofu. No, no, stop. Listen. No, stop. Listen. Okay, this is a vegan chocolate dish. And this is fantastic because actually we got the benefits of having less saturated fat, so it's healthier, but you can really, really taste the quality of the chocolate. So this is how we roll, guys. We're starting off with really good quality dark chocolate, 85% cocoa solids, 2 packs of these, 200 grams. Give it a slap, and let's open up our chocolate and just let that sprinkle in, bowl, over some water. Now, this will slowly melt into the bowl. Just give it a little stir every 30 seconds or something like that, but don't rush it. Then the tofu. This is the point where cream would normally go into some kind of chocolate mousse or some sort of chocolate pot. Just put it into a clean tea towel. It has to be clean. So there's 1 pack and 2 packs. So there's 700 grams of tofu in that clean tea towel. Grab up the corners and bring it together and twist it and get rid of the residual excess moisture. Go into a food processor, throw in all of the tofu, just like that. Just the zest of 1 lime. Try and use one of these microplanes or fine graters. Don't use the coarse ones. It's got to be just the green skin here. Give it a whack. So go in with 1 tablespoon of beautiful dark rum. Then I'm gonna go in with 2 teaspoons of vanilla bean paste. You can use extract, but this paste, I just love the flavor. It's really, really good. A little pinch of salt. Back over here, we've got our chocolate looking good. There's a few little bits in there, so we'll come back to that in a second. Now, 160 grams of maple syrup, which is basically all of this. And then another little secret ingredient, chili. It's a bit fashionable, I know. I don't want to add much to it, like a good pinch. So I'm just going to add that chili into there. I'm going to take my chocolate off the heat now. You can see this is completely melted. Look at that, beautiful. So let this cool down. I'm going to whiz this up for about 2 minutes to get super silky smooth. Then I'll start adding the chocolate. Okay, now it's super smooth. Now we can start adding the chocolate. Okay, so let's have a little look in here. I mean, look at that. I mean, it is chocolate heaven. You know, it's totally convincing. I know you weren't convinced by the tofu at the beginning, but let me just go over the logic just one last time. Look, I'm all into cream. It's delicious, it's rich. You can put air bubbles into it. But if it's the really good chocolate, which we want to celebrate, you know, having it simpler and cleaner, you can really taste it. Let's have a little taste. Oh, really, really good. So it's time to think about serving it. Over here, I've got some glasses, little espresso cups are super cute. This is enough for about 8 little chocolate pots. So I'm just gonna edge it out. And this is a chocolate pot, so we don't want loads. If you wanna put it into something and shake it flat, you can, but I quite like seeing the ripples because you see just how silky it is then. 3 of my favorite things on the planet: maple syrup, dark rum, and chocolate. We can have real fun with this. You could take a little cantucci biscuit, you know, with little pistachios in it and smash it up. Beautiful. You could take an amaretti biscuit and smash that up. Take your favorite hobnob or biscuit or whatever gets you going and bash that up. Even some nice nuts. So anything that's gonna complement the lovely chocolate experience. So I'm just going to take some nice little ginger nuts, just bash these up to a nice fine powder. Something crunchy is going to be amazing. And just put a spoon like this. You could just shave a bit of extra chocolate on the top. You can also just get an everyday grater and do exactly the same. Pistachios. So I would take these nuts now and just put them on top of one. So there you go, guys. Beautiful vegan chocolate pots. I hope you love it. Give it a go. If you like it, please give us a thumbs up. What would you do with this? What would you do if you were making this to kind of make it funked up and great for you? Let us know because we love hearing your comments. We're gonna make the most incredible chocolate brownie. Yes! Who doesn't love a beautiful, delicious chocolate brownie? I wanna show you a perfect one. No flavoring, no nuts, no fruit, just chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. It's gonna be crisp and it's gonna puff up and then it's gonna crack. It's gonna be gooey in the middle. It's gonna blow your mind. First up, chocolate. Come and have a little look at this. This is beautiful 70% cocoa solid chocolate. 70% means the amount of cocoa solids in the chocolate. It will taste a little bit bitter when you eat it like this, right? But when you mix it with butter and sugar and all the other ingredients, it's gonna be amazing. So 250 grams of chocolate goes in a bowl. I've got a pan simmering very gently. Put that over the top. Then I've got 250 grams of butter. Try and get the best one you can because the best butter, the best chocolate makes the best brownie. So if you're gonna make brownie, it's a wonderful treat, but if you're gonna do it properly. Do it really, really well. Dice up the butter and get it into the bowl. And just very gently, we wanna melt that down, gently, gently. Next up, the sugar and the eggs. 4 eggs into a bowl. Lovely free-range organic eggs is gonna give you a better product. 250 grams of golden caster sugar. And whisk up the eggs and the sugar until the sugar's fully dissolved. As you beat it, it goes pale, fluffy, and light, and that will be your texture, and it will also give you the crispiest little topping for your brownie. And if you want the recipe for this, just click the link, go over to jamieoliver.com. I've got this recipe and thousands of others. Go and fill your boots. And then it comes to the flour part. 2 heaped tablespoons of self-raising flour. By using the little sieve, you're allowing the flour to be as light and as delicate as it can be. 2 heaped tablespoons of quality cocoa powder. Use the whisk now, fold it, don't beat it. If I just sit there and beat it, then we lose all the air that we put into the eggs. The chocolate is almost done. And a lovely little tip, right? Just get a pinch of salt and season your chocolate. It sounds weird, but it makes all the difference. It opens up your taste buds. It allows you to taste the full flavor of the chocolate, and it genuinely really does make a difference. I got given that tip like 25 years ago from this incredible French chocolatier, and I've always done it since, and it works. And then we're gonna go in with every last bit of it. Look at that, look at the color, look at the shine. Back to the folding. Have a look at that. We've still got air in there. And of course, at this point, you can lick the whisk. It's filthy, but who wouldn't? I've got myself a lovely cake mold, and then we're gonna go in with that amazing brownie. Every last bit of it. Move it around, get it into the corners. And look at that, chocolate heaven. And I've put it into one of my tins here. If you want to check out my lovely range of bakeware, check it out. There's a whole bunch of different shapes and sizes, beautiful color. Now I'm gonna put this in an oven, on fan, at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit, and close the door gently. And that's gonna be amazing. It will take about half an hour to cook, but I will show you exactly what I'm looking for the perfect brownie, because it looks like you've got to slightly undercook it, but you've got to have the faith. Trust me. Look at that. That's just under 30 minutes. And you can see it's puffed up, right? It's gone really crisp on the outside. And if you just shake it, can you see that wobble, right? So I do want it cooked on the outside. I want it slightly under in the middle. And I just want to let that cool down for about 15 minutes before you even think about eating it. Hold yourself back. Don't go in. Let it cool down, and then you're gonna get more flavor and you're gonna get more texture. It's gonna be amazing. Let's get into there. Let's have a look at the texture. I love the way that when you cut through it, look, that's what you want. Ooziness. You can see that the top is almost sharding, it's cracking. Oh. Guys, come and see that. Yes. So this is what I want for you, right? It's really crisp and delicate and thin on the top. It's kind of spongy around the outside here, and then in the middle, it's oozy and gorgeous and unctuous and chocolatey, and the chocolate will taste different because of that cooking, right? So that is good, we like that. A nice little scoop of vanilla ice cream, some hazelnuts, chocolate, hazelnuts, vanilla ice cream. Come on, you know it makes sense. And then what we love to do in the restaurants is popcorn. Of course, that little bit of heat from the brownie is gonna start to melt the ice cream. Really, really nice. Right, enough talking. Let's get a nice small spoon and let's have a little try up. That is a very agreeable brownie. It's really good. Guys, go on. That's what you got to do this weekend or today. and enjoy. Take care. I'm going to give you the most incredible chocolate cake. It is so easy, so delicious. It's going to be crisp on the outside, oozy on the inside, and it's going to make you happy for sure. Now, here's the thing. There's not as many eggs as usual around, so I've literally rewritten the recipe now without eggs. This is an eggless chocolate tart, cake. It's going to be amazing. You love it. I'm not sure what it is yet, but it's good. So here we've got 200 grams of butter, 200 grams of chocolate, 200 grams of nuts. Now I'm using hazelnuts, but it could be almonds, it could be pecans, it could be cashew nuts. Then I'm using 200 grams of self-raising flour, 200 milliliters of milk, and then 200 grams of sugar. Right, let's do it. So we're going to start with the nuts. This goes into the food processor. We're going to whiz this up. We got 200 grams of chocolate and break it in. Super easy. In it goes. Then we can go in with the butter. Then the flour. A pinch of salt. Important. And then 200 mils of milk. And then 200 grams of sugar. So all of it goes in. So, all done. Just clean up the edge. So I am going to just take a little bit of greaseproof paper. This stops the sponge sticking to the tray. Now, if you haven't got this, a bit of oil of any type or butter, right? Give it a good old rub up, right? Like this. And then take a little bit of flour, like that. And you can make your own non-stick tray by shaking this around. There ain't nothing sticking to that. Your own homemade non-stick, okay? Adjusting, ducking, diving. That's what we're doing. So, scrumple up this. Like that, unscrumple it, put that in our tray. So, in we go. Now, like any cake, if you wished to pimp your ride, you can. You can put a few dried fruit bits in there. Sour cherries are particularly good with chocolate, but of course, it could be raisins, apricots, stuff like that. You know, things like tinned pears, delicious, come on. You know, little, flakes of nuts. Just feel that you can kind of embellish this a little bit. So look, get all of that sponge out of there. Sort of just shake it down like this into the corners. Look at that. Equal it out, every last bit. And that, my friends, is it. So that's going to go in the oven. Now the oven is at 180 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to put it in the middle of the oven for 18 minutes exactly if you want it nice and oozy. And then I'll show you what to do next. But I'll tell you one thing, it's going to make you happy. Yes, it will. Okay, so the 18 minutes are up. The room smells amazing. Come on, look at that. Oh, come on. That, my friends, is beautiful. And if you give it a little shake, can you see the wobble on that? So that is a good sign. So you can see that it's crispy and spongy here, and a bit softer and oozy here. Right, let's do this. So as I take it out the tray, it's gonna crack and smash up. Look at that, absolutely gorgeous. And what you can do is just get a little bit more chocolate, if you've got some around. Someone will definitely have a stash, and just grate some chocolate on the top, and that'll just melt in the most beautiful way. Okay, so let's serve it up. Look, it's almost like a hot pudding now. And I just take the spoon like that, get under it. Gorgeous. You see how oozy that is? Beautiful. And then a little bit of yogurt. I think the fresh yogurt with the oozy chocolate is really nice. And then if there's a bit of that old chocolate again, we'll just have a little grate up. So there you go. Come and have a look at this. So look, it's firm there. Kind of almost chocolate ganache custard there. Ripple that with a little bit of the yogurt. Come on, Eileen. Oh yeah. It's so easy. And for times like this, that is gonna put a big old smile on your face. Happy days. Breakfast or a little dessert bread, chocolate, orange, nuts, crunch, soft, hot. Come on, let's just go for it. So I'm gonna give you the easiest, most reliable bread recipe that you can embrace in your life. When you make bread, it's a beautifully soulful thing. It really is therapeutic, it's fun, it's creativity, and I think you're gonna love it. So look, right here, I've got 1 kilo of strong organic bread flour. If you go to any supermarket or deli, if you search out the organic flour, strong, and that's gonna get you somewhere really close to perfection, right? We can make a little well in the center here. And then here I've got 650 milliliters of tepid water. That means lukewarm. When I take a sachet of yeast, and they're the same in all the supermarkets, 7 grams, right? Just open it up, pour the yeast in. It's funny old stuff, but that was dormant and asleep. And now with a little heat, we're gonna wake it up. So in the middle, we'll go in with the yeast. Like that. Now, we need to season this flour. So a couple of teaspoons of sea salt. So in we go. And then I'll use a fork just to kind of keep my hands clean to start mixing it up. Bring in a little bit of the sides. So you go from water to a kind of light slurry, then it will thicken up. So look, as the fork does the hard work of the sticky business, like we're bringing it all together, we can start getting a bit more aggressive now and bringing this flour in. You can see it getting firmer. Because there's a bit more water in this recipe, what you get is a lighter, softer, spongier, plumper dough, and it will give you great results. It also means you've got to knead it a bit more to not make it sticky. It's quite therapeutic. Like if you love someone, put it into the bread. If you've got good thoughts, put it into the bread. If you hate someone, put it into the bread. Take out the, you know, like just get amongst it and just knead until all of these little bits are completely clean, right? You're gonna do your own washing up by kneading. So I'm just pushing it and pulling it, can you see? And then I'll pull it back. So when I stop kneading this dough, you'll see it kind of starting to bounce back a little bit, like a kind of rubber band. There's some other techniques where you can kind of just throw it down, pull it over like that. But really, your job is just to keep moving it until it's shiny, smooth, and really elastic. Okay, so I'm gonna take that bowl, I'm just gonna lube it up with some olive oil, just so it doesn't stick. So get the dough in a bowl, just put a little oil on top. So what I tend to do is just put a wet cloth over here and let it slowly prove. That's one batch made. I made one exactly the same, which has been in the fridge for like 2.5 hours. And this is what happens. And I tend to just leave it in the fridge all weekend. So look at that. That's the same batch. So you can see that this is quite tight. Can you see this is just like dreamy? Look at that. Oh, it's too much. Let's put this in the fridge. So all these little bubbles here, that's carbon dioxide, okay? And trapped inside our dough. Look at this. Oh, come on, look at those beautiful, see these holes? Come and have a look at these holes. Like, they're really fine. And these holes are what's gonna give you that sponginess and the texture. So we can just push this back and we'll push the air out. So what I can do is split this bread in half. We'll take this, pop that there for a second, cover it up, put it in the fridge. But you grab a bit, make a pizza, do some little rolls. You can create little dumplings around leftover sort of chilies or bologneses. You can steam them, like you can roast them. So just have this kind of dough in your fridge. It's a cool thing. I'm just gonna press the dough out to like the size of A4 kind of bit of paper. We're gonna go for a little bit of like chocolate spread, hazelnut chocolate spread that you guys know. Pop it in the microwave for 10 seconds. So look, 10 seconds just helps it be much more kind of spreadable. 4 big tablespoons, I'd say, about 160, 180 grams. So just use that spoon just to see how nice and satisfying that is, just to sort of spoon it around. Best friend of chocolate is orange. Use a fine grater, even on a box grater, and just zest a little orange. You hardly need any really to make a difference, but chocolate orange breakfast bread, come on. So it might not look like much orange, but that will make all the difference. So look, this is proper child's play. Very, very simple to do. So just, confidently take this and start to roll it up. And you can pinch the little sides if you wish to stop the chocolate coming out. Pinch it. You can do it badly, you can roll it, it doesn't really matter. And now you've got a chocolate and bread log, right, with a hit of orange. Take a knife, not quite to the end, and we'll go straight down the middle, like that. And what you'll do is expose sort of texture. So look at that, right? You've layered it, you've laminated it, you've made the everyday exciting. So through flavour combination, but also fantasy, texture, shape. So get yourself a little loaf tin like this, any one you want. This is non-stick, but you can rub it with a bit of oil, no problem. And then literally just turn it over like this, and don't worry about it being, a bit rough and ready. What will happen is, and what is very generous, is that as this proves, it's going to double in size, right? So all those little gaps, all those little imperfections will just kind of sort themselves out. So what I want to do is a little egg wash and some crushed nuts. So egg wash is quite nice. It's going to give you the most amazing colour. So just beat up the eggs like this, and we'll just take some of that egg wash like that and just brush it onto the white dough, not onto the chocolate. Now when you do this, this will make it go golden and gorgeous beyond all belief. And then you can take some nuts, in this case, best friends of chocolate, hazelnuts, but it could be any nut, could be pistachio, almonds. So put your nuts in there, crack them up. Then when you bash it up, just sprinkle that over the top. And as that proves, it will just wind into the nuts. They'll stick to the top like that, and it will be absolutely incredible. So what you want to do now is just put this in a little corner of the room. You can put a wet cloth over it as well to create that humidity. You don't really want a window open or a draft. And in about an hour, 40 minutes to an hour and a half, that will double in size, right? And when it's doubled in size, then we can bake it. So look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So the yeast is continuing to do its work. It's making it all plump and gorgeous. That's going to be the sponginess, right? We're going to go into a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes. Put it towards the bottom of the oven, and that heat from the oven will give it another lift again, right? So open and gently close the oven straight away, and that's a beautiful thing. So look at this. There's your beautiful chocolate bread. Golden bits, nutty bits. Let that cool down for normally around like 20 minutes, but we're not gonna have time today. Right. Can you hear the crunch? And then on the inside, look at that. You got the sponge wrapped with the chocolate, the nuts. That is gonna be a thing of joy. Let's have a little try. For a breakfast bread, come on, absolutely beautiful. Tomorrow, I've got some friends and family coming around that I haven't seen for a long, long time. It's gonna be so nice to get everyone together, and now it's time for an incredible dessert. Semifreddo means semi-frozen, and it's basically a homemade ice cream. We're gonna flavor it with chocolate. Chocolate, 100 grams, goes in a little bowl over some simmering water. We'll melt that down. I'll just crack the eggs, and then I want to take out the lovely yolk. And then a pinch of salt, and that is stiff egg whites. Done. Part 2 is the cream. 200 millilitres in there. And then add 100 grams of sugar to my double cream. We're going to just whisk, and what we want to achieve from this is soft peaks. So, in this bowl here, we have our chocolate. Then I'm gonna go in with a regular tin of vanilla rice pudding. And then we can go in with the egg yolks, followed by 2 tablespoons of cocoa. Put the cream in and the egg whites. We're just gonna spin the bowl and fold. If you rough it up, it won't have the air, it won't have the elegance. Here, I've got a terrine mold. In here, with that amazing semifreddo. And let's get that in the freezer as quickly as possible. Get yourself a little pan on a high heat there. I've got 200 grams of golden caster sugar, and we're gonna put around 50 mils of water into here. And as that's doing its business, I wanna show you how to make a little spiced dust. So what I've got here is 2 heaped teaspoons of icing sugar, 4 heaped teaspoons of cocoa powder. Then I've got a teaspoon of the allspice, cinnamon, and coriander seeds. So the other curveball is chili. So I'm gonna put it into a little spice grinder, liquidizer. Oh, it smells amazing. Get a little non-stick tray. Let's give it a little kiss of oil to be double sure nothing's gonna stick. And what I will do is rub this across and I'll pour my praline into that. So now that caramel is nice and dark, let's put those hazelnuts in nice and carefully, don't touch it. That will be the most amazing flavour. So that's your homemade caramel. It's that simple, done and dusted.
Good to see you.
So nice to see you. You okay?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah. I've done most of the important jobs yesterday. So dessert in the freezer, semifreddo, it's looking amazing. And we can turn that out in here on a nice little platter. Now sprinkle this with our lovely spice dust. This you can either smash up in a pestle and mortar or whack it in a machine. You can finish it with just a few raspberries, strawberries. Who wants some semifreddo?
How do you put the rice in it?
What rice, Sal?
There is rice.
There's no rice.
No, there is.
Dad, that is so nice.